We all make choices. But in the end, our choices make us. So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever podcasts are found. And leave a positive review, won't you kindly?
I have this weird echo going on, and I don't know why.
You have no
Sounds better now. Like, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, cool. Me and Gittles were testing a whole bunch of shit.
That sounds kinky.
Wait, echo as in digital echo or like the room?
I don't know.
Because I can hear echo in your room because you have no soundproofing.
Did somebody just fall down? What just happened?
I hope he did. It really did.
Where did Trevor go?
If I switch this back to... Oh, shit.
Now you sound like you're in a bathroom.
I'm cranking the compression up. I don't know why. I just thought maybe that would work.
Are you talking into a wall, like in front of you where the camera is? Is there a wall right there?
There's a wall everywhere. It's a square room.
Where you're talking to, where your microphone is. Right. No, it doesn't matter with the windscreen, Trevor.
What
Focus.
he's asking is how far in front of you
is the wall?
Is it 3? Is it a foot or is it like 2 feet?
It's probably about 6 inches.
Okay. So. Right around there. See where you have photos? You need to move those other places and put up those squares that I gave you. Because you're projecting into the wall, and that's what's bouncing around the room.
Well, I got an idea. I know what I did
Not
differently.
now.
It takes literally 2 seconds.
Okay. You're drunk, Trevor.
Man.
Go home.
I broke it.
Trevor, worry about it later.
Wookie?
What are you doing, Trevor?
My windscreen fell as I put it back to
You don't need the windscreen.
I put a lot of work into this, and then I moved everything for you.
You get what you pay for, Trevor.
It's Erik Nagel. And it starts now.
What up, my Nagel? 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 Talking about George R.R. Martin, not writing. Talking Marvel versus DC, who's more exciting? Talking George Lucas's legacy, high-scoring centipede. Talking Gittles' new beef burrito recipe. Talking about Stephanie McMahon versus Sable. Talking about the Cybermen versus the Weeping Angels. Don't blink, the dialect's more deadly than you think. Talking summer ale, blueberry pale, craft beer, pouring drinks. What up, my Nagel? Deadpool 2 features Cable. Talking Funko Pop, celebrity signed a label. Talking online gaming, bitchin' and complaining. Talking E-Rock, kissing the feet of Matt Groening. Warner Brothers properties, Superman's a mockery. Weird Al concerts, Kevin Smith's debauchery. Rick and Morty fun zone. The Lego build team, can I have your attention? Possible Donkey Kong kill screen. What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel?
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel, that is me, returning for this week and then off 2 weeks and then back again, Matt, OG.
Yeah, well, you know, I have a busy schedule. I have a hectic family life. I have a busy schedule.
Matt's one of those people that has a life.
Yeah, you know, and you know, when I'm not podcasting between 2 different shows, I'm trying to be creative and fun in my own spare time, and you know, things get in the way.
It's like we have joint custody over Matt. Like, we get him for 2 weeks, and someone else gets him for 2 weeks, and we get him for 2 weeks.
As long as my family gets me for, you know, consistent, I think everything else is balanceable.
I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Matt is lying to us right to our faces. Matt picked up the PS4 Spider-Man game, and that's where he's been since.
All right, so
I believe that.
If we're going to pull back the curtain, be completely and totally honest, I have not picked that game up yet.
Which is surprising. Okay. I thought you would have been all over that.
I want to. I just legitimately haven't made it to a GameStop to do that.
Okay.
When I thought I was about
buy a physical copy.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. That's a story we should talk about. Right before I was about to go buy my copy.
Okay. I didn't know why the long pause. Yeah, I was like, because he's announcing something.
Because I was thinking about what I was going to say next. So right before I was about to go buy my copy of Spider-Man, my card got hacked and got deactivated again. So I currently have no debit card.
Your bank debit card?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
I am I'm on day 2 of it again.
If you're a long-term listener of this program, you know Matt and I have the same bank, and we've had these problems over the past 4 years where I'll wake up one day and they said, hey, we canceled your card. You'll get another card in 5 to 7 business days.
I do want to talk about the specifics of this when it becomes when you're ready for that part. I know we're just doing quick intros, but
okay.
The truth be told, I've been playing with foam. That's what I've been doing.
What's
Foam?
Foam. I've been crafting out of foam because I needed a new creative outlet. And that's what I've been doing. I've been making
So do you have the metal pen that cuts through it?
I don't. I've been using mostly just a utility knife and stuff like that. But I do have a hot wire table.
What are you making?
Like gaming terrain. It's creative and it allows me to sort of like just sink my brain.
Is it
into
like
something.
building scenery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It lets me just kind of sink my brain into something that's sort of just calming.
Look, everyone's got their own weird little thing, and to what Matt's saying, to help totally disassociate yourself from your life. What's
Yeah.
something completely weird and different
Yep.
that I don't do? And people pick up these weird little traits or these weird little hobbies. I've never heard of this one, but now I'm very intrigued by it because I've heard people do other weird things that's not in their repertoire.
Yeah.
And this is totally weird for you.
I've done it
and I'm
before,
fascinated by
years
it.
and years ago. And then I gave up tabletop gaming, mostly because I just didn't have time, and it was, a whole big thing. And then...
Oh, is that why you took the pink ones?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So then Gittles got me hooked on Critical Role earlier this year, right? So I went full in on Critical Role because it's really easy for me to listen to, and it's really great storytelling. And that really, piqued my interest back into tabletop gaming. And from there, I started watching this other guy who does all these talks and talks about how you run games and, mechanics and storytelling, which led me into...
Once you fall down that wormhole
Yeah.
on YouTube, there's no coming back.
Right, and then I found another guy on YouTube who is a terrain maker. Black Magic Craft is the name of this guy. This guy's channel.
Is that his rap name?
Yeah, and but he makes all of this
Magic Craft.
crazy terrain out of XPS foam, or that pink insulation foam.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I haven't done that in years. I used to do it all the time, and so I needed something where I could literally just shut everything else off in my life for just like an hour or two a day.
How do I leave my family but not leave my family?
Well, it's not even them. It's not even them because I do it like when they're asleep or whatever. So I'm not like taking away time from them, but it's just work has been stressful, and I just needed a relief.
You needed something.
So I needed something, so that's what I've been doing. So
good
I'll
for
eventually
you.
get,
Lovejoy with
I
his
will
trains.
eventually.
Oh my God, you are Reverend Lovejoy
Yeah.
with your trains.
I will play Spider-Man though as soon as I get my debit card back.
Stupid
So.
Flanders, and your
Yeah.
ice cream is melted all over your
Yeah.
pie. Over in the upside down is Gittles and
What up?
Trevs and Devs. Did you get the chance to catch up on the episode you missed where Trevor talked about his Reverend experience?
I heard that part of it. I think I went back and listened to it a little bit. Yeah.
With the multiple cakes?
yes.
Because I got a lot of questions asking why the title of the episode last week was BYOC. Because everyone thought it meant cock.
Oh well.
I just got why it's BYOC. I had no idea either.
Because it stands for
bring your own
cock,
cake.
Trevor.
Wow.
But it was for bring your own cakes.
Yes.
So Trevor oversaw an event that had 5 different cakes for no reason.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
I guess not. As long as you get to take some of it home.
I wish I had 2 out
So-
of the 5 of those cakes right now.
And I heard some of the chatter about that, and I saw some people were like confused by it or perplexed by it, or why would you do that, right? And then I thought back to my wedding cake when I got married, and
Right.
it was whatever it was, 3 tiers or 4 tiers, whatever the fuck it was, right?
Right.
But each tier was different, so it wasn't one cake throughout. It was 4
Different cakes.
different cakes that were tiered.
Right.
So really, isn't that just the same thing? This is just deconstructed.
Well, no, yours was in convenient cake form as a singular
Yeah.
unit. They had a sampler plate of cakes.
Right.
Then the bride and groom apparently had 2 cakes.
Right.
One for them and one for the guests. There were too many cakes. The catering outfit should not have offered their own cake. It was the big takeaway
I'd like
from it.
everybody to note down the day that Eric said too many cakes because I
I'm
never
not-
thought.
Hang on.
I know. You're not a cake guy.
I'm not a cake guy.
You're not a cake
If
guy.
it was
September
pies, I would have been that
2000.
Sesame Street cutaway where the guy goes 12 banana green pies and then falls down the stairs.
Right.
That would have been me.
Takes a lot to make a cake. Eric likes a lot of cake. I got nothing.
It's a piece of cake that bake a perfect cake. I forgot how it goes. That is today's bonus time.
There you go.
It's been a year. We'll bring it back.
All right.
You can blame Gittles for that, for putting that in my head. So let's go around the room, see how everybody's been doing. We started off with Matt OG and his foam cutting world. What happened with the bank card?
Oh, so I woke up the other day, and if I wake up in the morning, I check my phone. The first thing I see on my phone is an email from Amazon saying that they had canceled an order that I had placed the night before.
Did you place that order?
I did.
Okay.
But they had canceled it because the card was declined. And I was like,
okay.
there's no possible way.
You having hard times?
No, not at all. That's what I mean. It's, so I was
lend
like,
you $20?
Yeah, that's it. I had $20. So I was like, there's no possible way that my card was declined for that transaction. Like I knew it was impossible. So then as I'm checking the rest of my emails, there are 3 emails from Walmart for orders placed.
Dude, I've had that. The last time my card went, it was on the West Coast, was it?
What?
For the Walmart charges, was it?
No,
West Coast?
it was in Florida.
Oh, I didn't have the Florida ones. I had the West Coast ones.
Yeah.
But they were all for Walmart. They were trying to buy gift cards.
Oh, so this was phones.
Okay.
And phone accessories.
All right, that makes sense.
So what happened was somebody didn't hack my card. They I must have opened up a Walmart online shopping account. It was probably around the holidays.
Do you have the app on your phone?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
But
I have one. Yeah, I use that.
I probably opened it around the holidays to buy a gift for somebody. There was a deal or a promotion or some shit. But so they hacked my Walmart account. They added themselves as a shipping address.
Oh, smart.
And then used the card that was on file to make a bunch of purchases. So I get 3 order confirmations. So I know the name of the person and the address where the stuff went. I have all the information.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
I reported it already to the police.
Of course. Wait, the police or to the bank?
I reported it to the bank first, So first, actually, I was able to. The bank flagged the card,
Right.
and that's why the Amazon
thing got declined.
transaction got declined.
Right.
So even though I placed the Amazon transaction before the Walmart transactions took place,
It was
by the time
close
Amazon,
enough that they had to. Right.
Correct. I contacted I contacted the bank because it was like 4:00 in the morning when I woke up and saw this. So I contacted the bank online. I was able to stop the card, stop future transactions.
Okay.
I then, knowing that Walmart has 24-hour customer service, I called up Walmart, and because I had the order number, the exact item, the item numbers, Walmart was able to go in and cancel all the orders.
I swear I thought you were going to say they didn't believe you because you had all the information.
No. So they went in and they...
Sir, you're pulling a scam on us. No, someone pulled a scam already.
No, so they canceled all the orders because the orders hadn't shipped yet.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
So someone placed the order at like 2:00 in the morning and I caught it at like 4. Right? So the orders hadn't shipped yet, so they were able to cancel them. And then I called the bank, and the bank stopped everything, stopped my card.
Right.
Walmart was able to refund the money. One of the transactions went through, and the bank was able to
They
get
have
me
to
that
let
money
one.
back.
Yeah, they have to let one go. So in order so they can prosecute or something like that.
But the part that pissed me off about the bank did everything right, so I'm not really upset by the bank. But the bank flagged. There were 6 transactions total.
Right.
Out of the 6, only 1 fully went through. But the one that fully went through was the most expensive. There was like a $10 one for like an OtterBox. There was like a $20 one for some headphones.
What was the expensive one?
It was like a $300 cell phone.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like the same thing that happened to me when my account was hacked. But they were like, they flagged the smallest one. They're like, oh, someone accidentally spent $20 on your account. I'm like, oh, cool. I go into my account. And I'm like, yeah, but there was $800 worth of other purchases you missed. Like, I had the exact opposite.
Yeah. So
It's bullshit.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, I have all the money back, and it's only like 2 days later. So the bank did okay by me. And Walmart did okay by me too. They were very helpful in getting everything canceled and taken care of. But
Right.
it's just it's a nuisance.
No, see, that's what's weird because usually the bank, if you have that information, they request you give it to them, and then you have to sign or approve some kind of electronic waiver that says you're allowing the bank to take the lead of as far as the legal prosecution of all of this stuff. We'll get you your money back, but then you're done with the involvement of the fraud here.
Well, so what I did with the bank was I sent them the receipts from Walmart from the email because I had it all.
Okay.
But then I called the local police department and I filed a police report anyway.
Good for you.
Because I figure if this guy, and it was two people's names. It was Luis Fernandez and Lizbeth Sierra.
I was going to say I'm sorry for stealing your card, but okay.
In Florida, and blah, 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 Florida. And
I bet you because you sent the receipts to the... Did you hear from the local police or no?
Yeah, I spoke to an officer over the phone, and
you gave him the information, but I'm saying, have you heard a follow-up?
No, I have not heard a follow-up.
Because here's what I'm hoping they did.
Yeah.
So you gave them the screenshots of the receipts, right?
Yeah.
So did they go into a store to do this? Or
No, it was all placed
online?
online. It was all placed online.
Damn it. Because I was going to say, if this was in a store, they go to the videotape and they can see who did what.
But it was two different names from the same address, and I looked up the address, and the address is actually a place of employment. So this was someone that was doing it at their job, and it's a warehouse that's a 24-hour operation, which explains why it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, I mean, look, as far as I'm concerned, I got my money back, but I don't have my card yet, so I'm sitting
Did you go to the bank and get a temporary?
I did it because the bank fucking closed at 4 o'clock. What good is a bank that closes at 4 o'clock?
There's no bank near your work?
I kind of work in a weird void.
I know. It's like an alcove off the side of a major highway.
There's nothing really convenient.
There's nothing over there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my personal life story in a nutshell.
All right. Gittles, anything with you?
I ordered you guys a whole bunch of cool gifts, but my order was canceled. So I got nothing.
Oh, my $300 cell phone. No.
Yeah, I got the new iPhone and all this cool shit, and it's like, I don't know, got canceled at 4 a.m.
Thanks,
weird.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Trevor, anything with you?
No.
You sound so sad.
You ever have one of those days where you're just not winning?
Just don't want to.
Isn't that your life?
I was gonna say, I kind of feel like that's every day.
We've heard that story before.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having one of those days.
Is it a work issue? Is it a personal issue?
No, you know what it is that, and you guys know, and I haven't told this universe yet, like what I'm doing, and I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff from home to try to further my life and my career.
Right.
And every time I boot up the computer, I seem to run into another problem, and I've been working on it for like a week straight now. I built a table from scratch, just wood and nails and screws.
Like a fucking Viking over here.
Yeah, that took
this table by hand
2 weeks
out of a bigger table.
He was watching that Nick Offerman show, and he's like, I could do this.
Yeah.
Like, the highlight of my week was I watched the Burt Kreischer special on Netflix, and I laughed for an hour and a half straight. Like, that was absolutely the best thing that happened to me in the last week.
Have you seen that yet, Matt?
No.
You should watch Secret Time, because he just really destroys his family.
The question you just asked me assumes that I've turned on my TV in the past 2 months, which I have not.
This is going to be weird, because we're starting, at least for broadcast television, and we got another couple of weeks before that all starts coming in. And you've got a lot to catch up on that I know Matt has just said, I'm not going to bother.
No.
I just found out, we'll do more TV stuff in the second segment, but I just found out that season 2 of Iron Fist, Marvel's Iron Fist, was on Netflix. I had no idea.
Yeah, it dropped last Friday.
Yeah, which goes to say how well people are enjoying Iron Fist, because I didn't see anything online about it.
I've heard some people liked it. I haven't seen it yet, obviously.
You didn't finish.
My friends liked it who enjoyed the first season. They thought it was better.
I hated the first season because I hated that version of Danny Rand.
Randy
Dan. We're calling him that. Write that one down, Trevor. Where you didn't finish Luke season 2, but he changed a lot for Luke season 2.
Yeah,
and I kind of liked that version that he was becoming. So I'm hoping that season 2 is more either that or further down the line.
I put Luke Cage season 2 back on about 2 days ago.
And how long till you turned it off?
I think it was 6.5 minutes. I clocked it.
Wow.
I was just like, I just don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't want to watch this. But I've been like that about television in general. I really have. Like, I just have stopped watching normal television.
Yeah.
Is it because you don't have
give us
time,
the
or do you
TV.
just want to do other things?
No, it's because I think it's because I want to do other things, and because TV I'm just not feeling it.
You're not
I'm just
feeling-
not feeling regular television programming. Even the stuff that I liked. It's just, I don't know, it feels like this big commitment that I just don't want to make.
You know what? You're not alone, because I've seen things online where a lot of people look. I watch a lot of stuff just so
Yeah.
I can talk about it, whether it's on the regular radio, on the new venture, or here. So I have a little knowledge of everything going on.
Sure.
And I have a schedule and I have a way to work around everything where I can do that. Most people can't do it the way
Right.
that I do it. But I've seen a lot of people online talking about how they've sort of gone into the path that Matt has gone, where they're like, there's just too much out there. I can't. It's becoming work. It's not even entertainment or relaxing just to sit down and put on a show. Now it feels like, well, I'm 4 episodes behind, and it just feels like a burden. And we talked about this a while ago as everybody was, mainstream wise, we're like, oh, binging was a big term for people. And you and I had talked about this, like, at some point, the binging was just something people did.
Right.
And then it came to the surface like, hey, everybody binges now.
I hate it. I've
Right?
never liked binging.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, but people did it without being told
Purging, however.
that it was a... See, that I would watch.
Yeah, I would totally watch that.
Hey, it's 8 o'clock. Matt is purging. Set the DVR.
It's just him with foam.
So people just were doing it on their own.
Right.
It wasn't a trend. It wasn't a thing. And then everybody started to realize, hey, I'm doing this as well. And then it became a thing. And then it became a trend like everything else does.
Right.
And you and I had talked a while back saying it's going to hit a threshold where there's certain things I'll just watch the shit out of because I can, and that's how I'm built. But a lot of people aren't built that way. They're not going to sit there and go through an entire season to catch up on stuff anymore. If it's constantly you have to catch up with everything, people are going to start to tap out. You're a great example because I'm starting to read about people. You're the first person that I've talked to about this. That they are starting to tap out. It's like they come home and they're like, it seems like such a commitment to watch anything anymore.
I think, and for me, it's kind of a little bit of. It's not just TV though either. Like I realized the other day I've stopped reading comic books too. So I haven't bought them.
Wow.
I was behind a couple weeks on like reading, and then the last 2-3 weeks I haven't even been to the Comixology website to buy new stuff.
So
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a seasonal thing? Because when it was the winter and it was cold and I didn't care about actually like using my deck or enjoying life, I would binge watch a season no problem.
Oh,
I
I see
put
what
on
you're
a
saying.
TV show no problem.
Is it because the summer and the
Yeah.
fall you're out more, but come winter you'll be in the house?
But here's the thing though, because of the summer that we've had, which has either been torrential
Rain.
downpour or 300% humidity, it's not like I'm doing a ton of stuff outside. I'm doing stuff inside. I'm just doing different stuff. Like I sat down a week ago and I read a book. Like a good old paperback book.
All right, I'm
not
calling
even
you-
They still
on,
make those?
not even on an electronic device. Actual page turning is what I did with my fingers.
Phone book.
That's it.
This white section's very small.
And that's just I don't.
The yellow section.
I think part of
getting
it
a racial,
was.
Eric.
I think part of it was I got tired, to a certain degree, of just like. I got tired of the emotional commitment to these shows.
right.
And the internet.
Which we saw with your decline of the Warner Bros. The CW
shows.
DC shows.
And then the whole social media aspect of these shows. Like I realized that if I'm watching a show that I really like, right, and then I have to go online and deal with people who are just being nasty about it,
Which
then my
For
love
the sake of just being nasty.
for the sake of
right?
just
Not
being
even, like,
nasty.
we'll add. Hold on, we'll add the next layer from our previous discussions. What Matt just said: Rick and Morty and Star Wars.
Right.
So now that's being added on top of it.
So what was happening was I wasn't enjoying those things anymore because I would watch it and I'd be like, oh, that was a pretty good episode, and then immediately my brain would go to, oh fuck, this is going to be like a Twitter war tomorrow. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually almost completely cut social media out too.
Wow.
Like I haven't.
That was my
posted,
next question.
I haven't posted on Instagram in almost a whole week.
I miss your 5 a.m. I just got coffee.
Yeah,
I
and
hate going to the gym. rants.
I haven't. I haven't posted on Twitter. My Facebook page I turned my Facebook page solely to private. I'm just. I think
tapping out of society.
Well, because society's become a cesspool of shit, and that's not a political comment, by the way. That is on both sides of the fence. It is a cesspool of shit.
It is,
and I just don't want to be a part of it anymore. I just want to find things that I like and can be passionate about,
right, and
enjoy those things, and just turn off all the other negativity. So I've just been cutting stuff out.
You're dropping,
I'm getting old.
You're dropping out.
I'm getting old.
I'm
6 months from now, I'm going to be living in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been doing the same thing.
Maddie.
Like, it's just too hard to keep up on things, and like I totally agree with Matt about like the emotional investment. Like, I just miss like being like, even because every show does it now. Like, you can't even watch South Park because they've incorporated into full season storylines. Like, I just want to be able to put on like an episode of the week and then just like watch it and turn it off.
Maybe that's why shows like Friends and The Office are doing so well on Netflix.
So I will
you can
say
just
that
pick it up at any point and enjoy it.
I will
I
say
just want
like
to be able to watch like a one-off episode and not have to be like, oh well, did I watch the last 5 seasons of this shit? Like, no, I just want to watch an episode.
Right. So
but at the same time, haven't you guys been concerned? Because since I haven't seen Matt in like a month, I thought he was dead. No social media interaction. No, I thought he died.
I was like, I know what Matt's doing, and go for Matt. Like, he's doing good.
All right. See, we all have different assumptions because Trevor thinks something's wrong with you.
Right.
Matt Gittles thinks that whatever Matt's doing is probably good, and I'm supporting him on it. I always think Matt's angry at me because when I don't hear from him, I'm like, I must have done something this time because I haven't heard from him in a week, and he looks very happy on what little social media he's posting. So
think everyone's mad at you.
I know. I'm very insecure like that. So when I don't hear from Matt, and then I'll write him, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Good, man. How are you? I'm like, see, I know Matt's not mad at me, but I keep thinking he is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just respond with K just to make Eric mad.
I do have
new phone. Who dis?
Yeah, who dis? I do have grew my hair out. Who dis? I do have a social media account that's personal.
Private, yes.
And I post on that one a lot more.
No, I know
but
you do.
that one mostly brings me joy. Right?
I know. I see it in there, and that's why I'm thinking he's angry at me.
That's like the fun stuff that I'm still doing.
The
and able
happier
to
Matt is, the more insecure I feel.
Oh, God, I'm checking to see if I'm part of the personal one. Otherwise, I'm really going to judge our friendship.
Nope.
No, but for the longest time, I don't think I followed you on Instagram either, Trevor, and that's because I couldn't find you.
Because he's got a weird name on Instagram that doesn't associate to what he's doing.
What is your Instagram again?
Big Black Cock Trevor.
A very good question.
It's BBC Trevor.
Not BBC. That's Big Black Cock.
Big Black Cock Trevor.
It's do you even say Trevor
it's the same
in it?
as my Twitter. It's BTG Trevor, which I didn't want to give out my personal one, but there it is for the world. And I just friended Matt because I wasn't friends with him on Facebook.
Block him.
No.
Him.
I actually thought. How about this? I actually thought we were friends on Facebook. So
anyway.
I guess.
Hey, Matt has requested to follow me.
Matt, Trevor, he didn't follow you because he was mad at you.
But
it's like the same text I get from you at 2:00 in the morning. Hey, what's up? And then no answer for 5 hours.
Yeah,
because I fell asleep.
But yeah. So I've checked out of, and I will say that on occasion, the handful of things that I have watched or tried to watch, because I've been removed from other things, I'm able to enjoy them purely on my own level.
What do you mean?
Without influence from anybody else. If I watch something, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is probably controversial, but you know what? I'm not part of that conversation right now or anymore, and I can just enjoy it for me. I don't have to enjoy it or not enjoy it and wonder if, oh my God, what is everybody else? Do they like it? Is the internet blowing up? I don't care. If I liked it, that's great. Like, I think for me, the break was like earlier this year, I got slammed for being a Star Wars fan. I got slammed for being a Spider-Man fan. All these gatekeepers like, no, you can't be a fan of those things because you disagree with me. And I was like, nah, I just want to enjoy the shit that I want to enjoy. Leave me alone.
you like, as you're saying, you like me for me. Not because you look like Leonardo or the guy that played in Fargo. I think his name is Steve.
There you go. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
No, well done. I'm going to clap on that one.
I'm not. Clap for both of us.
By the way, I got to show.
Just the sound of one hand clapping.
I got to. Bart, that's just a metaphor. No, really. Lisa, here it is.
Yeah.
Well, we got all that. I sent it to the other two. I got to send it to you. But Gittles got a fan pic.
Ooh.
It's worth it.
Of a lovely lady enjoying Flavor Ice, saying that she got the idea from Gittles.
Aw, how lovely is that?
Let me see if
Good
I have
for
it here.
you, Gittles.
I mean, flavor ices are great.
Yeah. I said I like fudge pops, and I got some different pictures.
Whoa, BBC Trevor, checking in.
Well, the show is called BYOC, so be careful when you check the mail.
Every show, Trevor gets new nicknames. For all the weird fucks out there.
The last episode was supposed to be called Between Eric and a Hard Place. I was all pumped for that
Rock
name.
in a hard place. Yeah, that was it.
And all of a sudden it's BYOC, and I was just like, well, that took a turn.
For all the Trevins and all the weird fucks out there, if you're going to follow the show and say, hey, I listened or I enjoyed this week's episode, hashtag BBC Trevor.
Oh my God! Yes, BBC Trevor.
This is apparently is becoming Gittle fan number 1.
Oh, well, good on her.
Yes.
Good on him. Good on everybody.
And I'm not going to lie, I like the flavor profile that she has.
Yeah? You're down with that one?
Yeah.
That particular color scheme?
I mean, orange is a go-to for me. I get questionable.
I'm wearing the
stuff
shirt because of the picture. I don't you guys know me. I only wear black. I'm wearing an orange shirt today.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Also, I'm doing laundry.
You should post a photo later of an orange Flavor Ice in your orange shirt.
There you go.
If I had an orange flavor ice, wait, hold on. I can make this even cooler.
Dude, why was that readily available?
Because it's Gittles. Why ask?
Got any change? I got my prospecting mug here too.
Go out and prospect for a little bit. Panhandle, if you will. Get some money. Go down to the dollar store and grab some Flavor Ice.
You know those.
As
You
soon
know
as the
those.
show's done.
You know those ramen packages are orange, so that'll work too.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
Oh, by the way, speaking about going out right after the show, Gittles, you, I think it was last week, we were talking about how the Northeast area doesn't put mustard and ketchup together.
Yes.
On foods, and I mentioned McDonald's doesn't do it. Did you go and find out if your McDonald's does?
No, I did not.
Good for you, because McDonald's is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You know
put
what?
I
I
put
really
ketchup
want
and
to prove
mustard
you
on
wrong, so I'm
No.
definitely going to go today.
That's personal preference. I do as
okay.
well. But I'm saying for this area, anytime if you're in public and you do it, people go, ew, you're putting it together. Or the fast food places don't mix them.
I thought McDonald's used to, didn't they?
Nope. Not in the
I
tri-state
swear
area.
to God, the number 2 definitely still does.
It
if you
does
do like
not.
a regular Happy Meal.
It does not. Maybe closer to Pennsylvania, like Philly or the Pennsylvania border. They do not. You can go to any like Wendy's does mayo and ketchup, but you will not find any of the fast food places in the tri-state area that will mix mustard and ketchup together.
Mustard and ketchup is delicious.
It's just a weird regional thing that I've always been fighting.
All right.
Please just say ketchup.
Ketchup.
That's
Thank you.
Catsup. Ketchup.
I hate when you say catsup. It bothers the hell out of me.
I don't say catsup. I've never
do.
said catsup. No, I say catch-up, like
I say cat's up
C-A-T-C-H.
when I'm asking a cat what's up.
Yeah.
I'm like, cat's up. And the cat's like, fuck you.
I mean, that's what
Usually
cats
gives
pretty
them
much
some
say to
gang
everything.
signs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shows him his butt and then walks away.
That's it. Throws a Flavor Ice at you and leaves.
Look at my asshole.
I show you my ass.
That's a show title.
Let's move on to some more pressing issues. By the way, the phone number I never gave out, 651-SMITHERS, 651-764-8437 if you want to call and ever add to the show. Please feel free to do so.
Lolly.
A couple of updates. New York Comic Con, as we mentioned, is coming up very soon.
Yeah,
The
3
dates
weeks.
of October 4th through 7th at the Jacob Javits Center
Yes.
in Manhattan.
Yes.
I will be there. Gittles will be there doing the show. Matt will be there at his booth for his other show with Big Kev, but he'll be sprinkling in here and there where he can to join us
Yeah.
for that venture, like he always does.
Our booth this year is in the small press area.
Do you have a
it's-
number?
It's well, yes.
Small press area.
Yeah. Which is where
does
we
that
were. So they have a row or two at New York Comic Con that's sandwiched between like all the designer toys and all that stuff,
Right.
and like Marvel, DC, Image.
Is this where Kevin was last year?
Yes, it's in the same area we were. So it's the 2 or
Okay.
3 rows for like independent companies and smaller companies.
Because Kevin told me, I forgot about this till just now. Kevin told me, he's like, I will do whatever I can to get this same booth next year.
Yeah.
It's right next to the Marvel Pavilion,
Right.
that they have on the floor, and we were the major walkway. That's why we got
I hear
Ben
Gittles
Edlund.
is in that booth.
Yeah.
Yes, Gittles is in the booth. When you go down there, as always, ask for
So, so I'm just kicking people out of the booth this year. So, I have a booth number, but that number might change, so I don't want to give it out just
Okay.
yet. Because we're trying
We'll
to
have some at least the week before.
Oh
right?
yeah, probably more than that.
Because
But
I've had other people. Our pal Brian Shea from Game Informer is going to be covering New York Comic Con this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was reaching out if we were all going to be here. I didn't realize he hasn't met Gittles. The time he was on the show, Gittles wasn't there. So he's going to come in and hang and do the show with us.
Awesome.
He wanted to see if your booth was there. I've had other people, our friends from Spitfire Labs.
Nice.
Were asking where we were, and just various other people. And usually I always say, well, the show is going to be there, but here is the Big Kev booth. We'll be stopping there time to time to try to bring more business over to you guys.
Yeah, so that's we do have a booth. It is in the small press area. I will have a booth number maybe next week.
Okay, good enough. So we will be there. And Trevor, I'm still working on it for you. Don't think I forgot.
I thought you did.
Does Trevor not have a pass?
He got rejected for some reason. I don't know why. But it just
story of my
adds
life.
to the Trevor is Eeyore, pretty much.
Trevor, I'll text you later.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. We did the same thing like the
Yeah.
rest of us, and for some reason he got declined.
Okay.
And I don't know why. But I'm trying to see if I can
was all
pull up another
set.
pass somewhere for him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But if you happen to get
I
one,
might have one too. So
all right, then there you go.
So
Trev.
we're working on it from multiple fronts, Trevor.
Just right there and say that he's a man of the cloth. They'll give him a pass, no reason. Like they'll be like, all right, here he is.
They'll
He's a
give him-
Trevor.
they'll give
Like,
him
he
a
can
path.
Totally marry like an Ewok and something else.
Tell him
It'll be
he's
fine.
part of the lore exhibit.
I hear with there you go. I hear with every pass you get a small child too if you're a man of the cloth. So
I'm just saying,
Ew.
I will marry anyone at the Big Kev booth at Comic-Con if that's what you guys need.
fair
I'll
enough.
do it.
Yo, let's make this shit happen.
Where's
We
Trevor?
need to get
Where's
married
Trevor?
at
He's
Comic-Con.
marrying that Reinhardt and the Khaleesi.
What a mix.
Matt, if
Present
you
with
get
your honorary beanie baby.
Matt, you get me in, you get my left kidney or my first child.
Nice. I could do
Kidney
so
sounds
much
better.
with either one.
Did you reach out to any of your contacts to try to get some? Because we didn't go to San Diego this year, and sometimes certain companies will roll over the San Diego exclusives for New York Comic Con. Did you reach out to any of your contacts to try to pick up anything?
I have not. No. No.
No. Okay.
No.
You didn't get the
That's a
Ninja
failed
Turtles
question.
from NECA this year, did you?
I really wanted to get the Ninja Turtles. I had someone that was going to help me get them, and then just financially, it just didn't work out. They're awesome sets, but
I know.
they're pricey. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also, they're pricey because they have to be because of their situation, but also the work.
Oh, no,
It's definitely no. I'm just putting it out.
Yeah,
there
they
for
warrant
people.
the price.
They
I
definitely
don't.
warrant
I
the
don't
price.
dispute the price. Just for me at the time, financially, it was not. It was not a necessity.
Matt
Just
showed
too
up.
busy buying all the foam.
Yeah, no, I stole it from E-Rock.
Matt showed up at the NECA booth like Chris Rock is the rib man.
Yeah.
What can I get for 65 cents? Give me a Leonardo foot.
Let me just get one turtle.
Let me just get the headband.
Oh man.
Oh, good times. Good
Moving
times.
on. I'll tell you about a couple of things going on with me. So we didn't get to this last week, but the week before that, this car came around the corner pretty fast, slowed down almost to a crawl, sped up, and then swerved and flipped over and hit a tree.
Nice.
Oh, you talking about the accident in front of your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this truck, I didn't see this happen. I heard the noise. I came out. All these neighbors and everybody came running out, and there were people that were outside, and they told me what happened with this truck. So some neighbors down the street wound up, the truck's flipped over. It's a pickup truck.
Right.
And it's leaking gas, by the way.
Oh, good.
The back right tire is over in the front. Like, he fucked this truck up bad.
And tell us, Eric, what did you do to save the day?
Nothing, because it was already done by the time I came out there. I took photos. So, what happened was one of the neighbors, and it was a lady, opened up the driver's door on top and pulled the guy out of the truck. And they brought him over across the street, and somebody else made him sit down there because they knew he was messed up.
Yeah.
So didn't let him move. They were trying to hose down the gasoline, which is not going to do anything. But eventually, within minutes, the police department, fire department, ambulances all showed up, and they just had this like foam / kitty litter looking substance that they were just hosing down the truck to absorb the gas.
Yeah,
and the
you try
oil
to
and all
absorb
that
it.
stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you put down some Speedy Dry.
And because the truck was also smoking.
Yeah, well.
So we were all like, this thing's going to explode.
Yeah.
So they take care of all of that, and then the police are checking everything, and they were making sure that this guy didn't walk anywhere to dump stuff in a bush.
Right.
Did he go behind any houses? And the lady said, nope. We grabbed him. We threw him on the...
Well, was he intoxicated, or was it just an accident?
He was fucked up because who comes around the corner fast, comes to a halt, slowly goes, then speeds up, and then hits?
Because what's going on around your house right now is all that major construction. So my thought was he was planning on going straight.
No, it had nothing to do with it.
And then decided to turn and just cut it. And no,
not at all.
Okay.
So here's where it gets even crazier. So police are investigating everything. They're doing the sobriety test to the guy. They're talking to him. They don't find anything on him. And from what they can get to the car right now, because it's still kind of fucked up, they don't want to go into it yet.
Yeah, of course.
They looked everything around. They're asking anybody, did he go anywhere? Did you see anything? Nothing. They don't have anything on him. He has no substance on him.
Right.
So they're still testing him. They haven't cuffed him yet, but they were doing something else, and then they came back and they wound up cuffing him, putting him in the car. A big flatbed truck came. They used the chains. They flipped it over, put it up on the flatbed, and they were investigating. I guess when they flipped it over, they went looking pretty quick. So looking at the way that he hit the curb, the lawn, the tree. Now the trees around that area are not just like your run-of-the-mill skinny trees.
No, they're pretty big trees.
They're like you can't even put your arms around, and they're almost 100 years old oak trees.
Yeah, they're going to win.
They're huge. So they're investigating that, and he took a decent chunk out of that tree to where they're still trying to figure out if they got to pull the tree down or not, right?
Yeah.
So all this is going through, and they're trying to figure out, like, why did he stop? Did he accelerate? He stopped, he hovered, and he accelerated again, and then made a big run. It looked like he was trying to make a turn.
Right.
Speculation. This is where neighborhood gossip comes in.
Right.
There's a house that the tree is just after a driveway. That driveway is for a house that a lot of people think drugs are being run through.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now,
Flop house.
Not the lady who owns it, maybe, who knows, but it seems to be her son.
Okay.
Who seems to be high school age. Now, a lot of the neighbors have taken photos and surveyed this house where there's times where a car pulls up, walks over to their porch, opens the porch, closes the porch door, turns around, opens the porch, closes the porch door again, goes back into the car and leaves.
Yeah, picking up a package or something.
Or dropping stuff off.
Yeah.
We've seen people with
feeding
bags.
the cats, Eric.
Right.
You got to feed the cats.
There's also been times where you see a car full of kids come pull, and by kids I mean teenage years, pull up, and they're sitting there waiting. They're waiting. This kid comes out of the house, gets in the car, and it sits there for a few minutes. They don't even move.
Yeah.
Then the car takes off, goes all the way around, and I see this guy come out of the car near my property where the park is, and then walk back as the car goes wherever he does. He walks back down around the corner and goes back to the house. So like
clearly Amazon Prime in training. Go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the we're like he's definitely running drugs out of this house here. So people who were around during the day, who I was to a certain point, had filed reports, and nothing has really been done. So when this opportunity came, everybody started saying, here's photos, here's videos, here's what we think is going on in this house. Look how he turned. We think he was messed up and was trying to come to this house to get more stuff.
Right.
So they were like, oh, so neighbors and gave stuff to the cops, and I don't know what has happened since. But still to this day that when we're recording, people are very suspicious about that house.
Right.
Not so much of the homeowner, more of the son is doing some shifty shit.
Right.
So I think that's where the accident comes into play. But other than that, I'm not sure. So that's what's been going on around me. Oh no, wait, there's one more thing. So this I just found out. A couple houses down on the other side of the street, an older man, a religious, God-fearing American, goes to church on Sundays like clockwork for years.
Oh, no.
Here's what I found out he's been doing.
Oh, no.
So he goes to services on Sunday.
Right.
Early morning services. I'm not up at that time, so I never see any of this. But what he does is he puts pamphlets in the doors of people he thinks are sinners on the block.
Nice.
So what he's done is there's a neighbor near me, very nice, lovely young couple who had a 1-year-old daughter. They just didn't get married yet.
Yeah.
Right? They only recently got married, but at that point they're both professionals in their own right. They make really good money. They bought a house. They're doing all these repairs. They have a lovely daughter, and they just didn't happen to get married yet. So no big deal, right? Well, he finds this to be a sinning offense.
Of course
so
he does.
he kept putting pamphlets in their door every Sunday. Now, across the street from him...
That's illegal. You can get arrested in New Jersey.
Is it really?
Yeah, because that's considered door-to-door solicitation, and they're not allowed to
They're
do
not
it.
allowed to do that in
Harassment.
certain towns, right? That you know what? That's also true, Gittles. I didn't think about harassment.
Not to mention littering.
So
There you go.
not technically
Littering
littering. Imagine that's what they get him on, littering.
Yeah.
None of the other
None of the
violations.
stick, yeah.
But across the street from him, an elderly woman had passed on many months ago, and they just
lady?
no, a different person sold the house, and a young couple moved in, not married, have a dog. They're doing all this refurbishing of the house because these are older houses around here, and they have good jobs. Very nice people. They move in, and I found out he started doing it to them because he found out that they weren't married. So they're a couple living together that aren't married.
Right.
So you're sitting in his eyes, and he's been doing this for a long time. For people, at one point, because I guess when we moved in, he was inquiring if I was married.
Yeah.
If we were married.
Shame on the neighbors for years and years and years not reporting him to the police.
I think one has.
Because I would report him to the police every single time he did it. The police
I
would
would
hate me,
leave the
but
newspaper covers of
Yeah.
all the child sex abuse shit from the church in his mailbox every single day.
There you go.
Photocopy and staple it to his car.
there you go. Like Luther putting the 95 theses.
We are changing. Well, that's what's been going on in my neighborhood.
Oh, good,
Crazy,
good.
crazy.
So
small
drug
shit.
addicts and
It
lunatics.
is, right? Isn't it?
People and their sin stuff, like, it's so fucking weird to me because, like, I see it, like, I even see it in Brooklyn here. There's a guy who, like, sits on the street corner and he has a sign and it just says "Sins make you age." And this dude is 70.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm like, what did you do? Like, why do you keep sinning? You're getting older. Like, it's so crazy.
I had it out.
Like, he's 70.
I had it out
Like,
with
what did you do in
somebody.
your life?
I had it out with somebody like a year or two ago.
Religious stuff.
I was visiting friends out of state.
Right.
And I was in a restaurant and I went to use the men's room in the restaurant. I was with my son at the time who had to use the restroom as well. And someone was in there putting those little cartoons? They put the little books.
Little, like, pamphlet things?
The little pamphlet books, but they you know,
Yeah.
if you look at them very quickly, they're like, oh, it's like a little comic strip. And
Yeah,
then
they
you
look like
read
comic
it.
strip.
Yeah, and it's all about like homosexuality and
No,
like
I've never seen
pedophilia and like
Never been to a church
abortion and all these sin-based related things. And I had it out with some guy in the bathroom because he was trying to give it to my kid. My kid was like 5 at the time. And I pretty much told him that he'd be eating the rest of those pamphlets.
It's weird
if he
wh-
didn't walk out of the restroom
You don't take
immediately.
anything from anybody in a bathroom.
No, but
Ever.
No, but
that's
my son at
exactly-
the time was 5. He didn't know any better.
Yeah, but that gives it a whole nother layer of I know what
Yeah.
Matt's saying. Like, if this guy was on the street, like outside of a mall or a supermarket, and they're handing out their religious pamphlet stuff, people do that. You're like, no, we're not
Yeah,
interested. Thanks,
right.
moving on. But you're an older guy, right? Elderly? Or
No,
just
actually, he
around...
was probably in his like, I don't know, mid-40s. Not
Okay,
much
so
older than us.
middle-aged guy.
Yeah.
You're approaching a child in a bathroom
Yeah.
to do this. It doesn't even matter what his propaganda was.
Right.
You approached a child to give him something in a bathroom that's not yours. That it supersedes a problem, the severity of anything you were about to hand that child.
I mean, if he had handed my kid like a Spider-Man comic, I'd have been like, all right, whatever.
not in the bathroom. I still would have freaked out.
Yeah, he comes out of the booth. He's like, yeah, I just finished slinging some webs in here. Here's some comics for you.
Hey-o. Anyway,
I
so
get
yeah,
it.
those people are lunatics.
Wow, I would have really.
But yeah, I took all my strength to not accost him in front of my child.
It would have
You're a
taken
strong
all my
man, my
strength to
friend.
put him through a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think if I was, I mean, it might not have happened if my kid wasn't there with me, but at the same time, I didn't want to be a bad influence in front of my child. So I was trying to handle it as calmly as possible. But
Right.
anywho.
Yeah, so when your son turns 16, he's watching John Wick. He's like, "That's what you did, Daddy," and you're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Oh shit."
I didn't think memories from that age stuck.
Remember when we went to that weird hotel where everybody was shot up?
And you killed everyone.
Dad had like 8 bags of gold coins. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Anywho,
moving right along.
Matt's a violent person.
I don't know if anybody cares about this, but I don't know who enjoys Subways, the fast food restaurant.
I mean, I go once in a while.
There's so many better places to go for sandwiches, but
I go when there's literally no other options. So
all right,
Yeah.
I probably haven't been in
Emergency
like a
food.
year, but yeah.
you know when the
It's
people
like
think
buying shirts at Kmart. Like when you have to get something,
Yeah.
you go there.
or the people that think that Subway is healthy.
Yeah.
You know when they're like, oh, here's our vegan wrap, or here's that. It's like, no, that bread is wrestling mats.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're
Fucking
lucky.
Jared.
Yeah, so people have been talking about the fact that Subway back in the day had a very popular campaign, the $5 footlong.
Yeah, man.
Right? Now, they haven't done that in a long time because some of these footlongs are like $7 to $10 now.
Yeah, because
Wait, really?
$5 was. I think they still have the $5 footlong, but now it's only select footlongs as opposed to all footlongs.
Well, hang on.
Yeah,
so
none of the ones that you want.
they used to have the $5 footlongs, and then they used to have February, where it's February, any $5 footlong,
Right.
you pick whatever you want for $5, and that would just be for the month. And people have been like, "Where's the $5 footlong campaign? We like that, when that comes back." So Subway officially announced that they had to finally address that the $5 footlong deal is officially dead.
Yeah.
It will never come back. It's not even a promotional thing anymore. It's not like the McRib where it's
Well,
once in a while it rears its head. It's completely done because people have been complaining about when are you doing $5 foot.
I mean, in defense of Subway, I'm sure that the cost of the $5 footlong has increased, like everything else
Of
in this
course
country,
they are.
and they no longer. I mean, remember when they had the 99-cent menu at some places, and now it's the
yeah.
$2 menu or whatever it is.
Well, McDonald's
It's
has
the
a $1,
everyday
$2, and
menu
$3
now.
menu. Yeah, everyday menu. So
But also, I feel like they lost a lot of money on the footlongs. Like, didn't they have a lawsuit because they were like 11.5 inches and they were claiming they were a foot long, and then people brought it they're like, these are not the right measurements, and sued Subway?
Yeah, because
Wow, I didn't know that.
bread. That was a bullshit lawsuit too. But yes, you are correct, Gittles. I think that was a thing.
I thought that was true. I thought, and then they stopped. They said they couldn't keep calling them footlongs because
No,
it
I
wasn't
believe
true.
that was true. When I say it was bullshit, what I mean is the people who brought that lawsuit were fucking idiots.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like when you sue a movie company because your movie didn't start on time.
Right, yeah, right.
Well, so they officially announced that it is dead. It is not coming back.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, any of its competitors would be smart enough to go like Blimpie's $5 footer or something like that,
yeah.
just off a little bit so they don't have the trademark. To do that, you'd see everybody run to the other place because people are sheep, and they'll go, I'm getting the $5 footlong at Jimmy John's.
Even if it was
I
just
haven't
for a
seen
month.
A Blimpie since like 1993.
There's
Yeah, and they don't
Blimpies.
call it the footlong. They call it 12 inches of pleasure, and I don't know why it's not selling.
the big Bluto.
Yeah, exactly.
I prefer, if I'm not eating it from a real deli, I'll go to Jersey Mike's or I'll go to Wawa and get a shorty.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Hoagie
Double
Fest
fill your cheeks.
just
Not
ended.
those.
Yeah, I know. Hoagie Fest is the best.
at Wawa's.
Can we talk about Wawa for a sec?
I just found out about their secret menu on their touchscreen. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
There's like a bird or something on the screen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Little bird or a little duck.
Yeah.
If you click that, there's a secret menu.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you do.
I wanna
Get
talk-
me an iced tea next time.
I want
you're
to
there.
talk about
You
this.
get an extra meatball.
Yeah, I want to talk about the dumbness of the Wawa order ahead of time app.
Uh-oh.
So Wawa has an app where you can place your order, right?
This
so
is
that
true,
you can,
yes.
So that you can then go pick it up.
Right.
So when I was away on vacation a couple weeks ago, we did this. We placed an order because we were in. I was
Wait, 3 weeks in advance?
No, yeah, goose. So
I needed 12 inches of pleasure in 3 weeks.
I'm a very particular man. I need my stuff when I need it. No, so anyway, we placed sandwich orders for lunch one day, right? And someone else had placed the order on their phone,
Right.
but I had the phone. They were like, "Listen, I can't drive. Take my phone. Go pick up the order." But apparently, with the Wawa, they don't actually make the sandwich in advance. So you place the order on the app.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay for it.
Wait, do you have to notify them when you're there?
No.
Okay.
They have something in the store
That connects.
that recognizes your phone, that signal that bounces or whatever.
Okay.
And as soon as you walk in, they start making your sandwich.
Okay. This is similar to our pals over at the Brooklyn Boys podcast. David Brody
Yeah.
loves Taco Bell. He uses the Taco Bell app.
Love
he
Taco
placed
Bell.
an order ahead of time,
jinx.
but there's a thing there that says, "Let us know when you're here, and they'll make your order." And he wants the order to be done when he's at the drive-thru. It's like, "Hey, I placed the order. Oh, okay, we'll start making it now."
No, that defeats the whole purpose.
Exactly. That was what his rant was. So it's similar like that. Other than you letting them know that you're here,
Correct.
It detects it while you walk into or on the premises of the Wawa, and it's like, "Oh, he's here. Let's start making it now."
Right.
That's aggravating.
So it was this whole big bit to do, and the Wawa was packed. There was a line out the door, and what should have been a quick 10-minute run ended up being like almost an hour for me to get my order that I ordered in advance.
Infuriating.
I love Wawa, I really do, but that was infuriating. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So did
of.
you go and complain?
Of course I complained. I always complain.
Did they give you anything for free?
No.
I would not have paid.
No.
I would not have paid.
No.
I would have said, "This is ridiculous. I'm not paying for this."
Look, I mean,
What can you do for me?
In fairness, it says it right on the app, and I didn't bother to read it because I made the assumption that like every other order in advance app,
Right.
you're actually ordering it in advance.
I understand, but they did not do right by you.
No, it was this one.
If I learned anything from Dave Brody, his theory is free dessert.
That's it. Look,
It's like even is not even, free dessert.
look, this. I
Yeah,
mean,
at
this
least something.
this one location was a little less than stellar, so I didn't expect.
Does
a
that
whole
prove
lot
my
out of it.
fast food theory about the way you're treated at certain places determines how good a neighborhood that you're in?
No, because it was actually a pretty affluent neighborhood.
Okay.
But I think this was the inverse. So what I think happened was this was a pretty affluent neighborhood that
They're rich, they
probably
can wait.
doesn't utilize the Wawa very often. And so the Wawa is then the dregs of everybody who else is in the surrounding area who is not affluent.
I only get my sandwiches from the finest delis. I don't go to
Oh,
the Wawa.
you can go to Wawa. We go to Sheets.
You're right, exactly. Exactly.
Which, by the way, Sheets is great too.
I don't even know what a Sheets is.
Sheets,
Indubitably.
Sheets is a place that'll make your food fresh while you're getting gas and everything. It's an amazing place.
If you say so.
Yes, if you see a Sheets, pull over and try it sometime. You'll be very amazed.
If I see a Sheets, chances are I'm sleeping. So
All right, fair enough. But
I see a Sheets, I'm making a shit joke.
you put sheet on my bed and I kill you.
Before we
Thank you.
before we take a break, I wanted to ask you about this video that's been going around, and
Uh-oh.
I don't usually bring up
That's not me. I swear.
I don't usually bring up the viral videos that everybody's talking about because they're funny, but then everybody talks about it too much, and then it
Oh, you
becomes like
jumped on
who
this
gives
bandwagon. I saw this.
who gives a care?
Yes.
To quote Colin Quinn. So, have you seen the video about this invisible kid?
Oh, I did. It's dumb.
It's very dumb.
It's
I've
dumb.
seen two. I saw one that came out, it was really popular, and then another one came out the next day, and then it just spread.
Okay, so the video I'm talking about
I
is
saw the one you shared.
you did. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it's a kid sitting on a chair, and her sister pulls a blanket up, says something I can't really hear, then drops the blanket. Now the child is still sitting on the chair, but everyone's acting like the kid's invisible.
Right.
And
My
she's
life.
laughing around like, okay, yeah, whatever. And the mom's looking off into, like, she's looking above the kid like the kid's
Yeah.
not there. She's like, the mom's really selling it. She's like, she starts freaking out a little bit, like, where is she? I can't see her. And the kid goes over, like, Mom, I'm here. And as soon as she touches her arm, the mom pulls back like, like if a spider touched you or something. So now the kid's like concerned, what's going on? At the same time, the dog is ruining the whole video
Of
because the
course.
dog is like sniffing up near where the kid who was supposed to be invisible. So what you don't see is that one of the other kids is sitting on the couch while this girl is talking to her, trying to convince her mom that she's not invisible. Sticks her arm out while the other girl, the original girl who does the spell, takes a photo of her. So the girl's not in there, but she's holding her arm out. Now they're like, oh, let's try to take a photo of her and let's see if she sits on the couch, if she's really invisible. So the little girl sits down next to the other girl who has her arm out.
Right.
And they pretend to take the photo. Then they turn the phone around and show the girl who had her arm out, not the invisible girl. And that girl shrieks and screams. The younger girl who's supposed to be invisible sees it, freaks out, drops to her knees like her legs gave out, in full panic, screaming. Now I'm laughing hysterically.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is like, if this was in my family, this will be played at every holiday. This will be played at their wedding, any kind of ceremony. This is going to be there. I laughed so hard with this girl's poor misery, and I know, like, it broke her brain.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably horrific for this girl, but it was incredibly funny.
My first reaction upon seeing it was that this is absolutely staged.
Of course. Oh, no. Oh, the little girl?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it at all.
That's how I felt about all of them.
I was like,
this
is
fake.
absolutely staged. Because I just can't believe that anybody is that stupid.
No,
Like,
I
mean, people are
think she could be
stupid,
that
but
stupid.
that's like a level of stupid.
That's and she's not. You keep calling her a little girl, but she's not that little.
She's I'd say maybe 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 11 or 12, like old enough to know that she's not invisible.
Well, we don't know where these people live. It might not be one of those areas that.
I bet they shop at a Wawa in an affluent town.
Yeah, and that little girl's like, wow.
Sounds like that standing outside of Broken Phone Booth
Yes,
song
yeah,
where they had the ridiculously long song. I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since I went to Wawa.
God, it's such a long show title right now.
Put that down. Thank you.
The show that couldn't slow down.
Shopping at a Wawa in an half. I can't spell affluent.
Affluent.
Because you can't even say it. That's not the
AFFLUENT.
word. Affluent.
But I don't think
It's
that.
been a very long day, Gittles.
I don't think that girl was faking it. And I am usually skeptical
Yeah.
about a lot of these things too. But I do not think that girl was faking it, because for her to either that or she's going to be an Oscar-worthy actor in her
Right.
future. For her to collapse like that, screaming, like turn red, like that much panic in her face, I don't think she really or even if she did, it broke her brain.
Yeah.
Because I don't see a kid who can act that well.
I mean,
maybe.
like, they could have broke her brain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very possible.
I thought it was still hilarious.
I definitely had, when I was younger, my sister and my cousin would play tricks on me like that. And they were older than me, like 4 years older than me. And my aunt's house had a secret room that you can get out of a room in. So they would go in a room,
like a
flip the
crawl
lights,
space?
say these magical words, and disappear and freak me the fuck out, because I didn't know that there was like a trap door you can get out of the room in. And I would tear the room apart. I'm like, I have no idea where the fuck they went. Like, I was like that girl in the video, like losing my shit.
They were all doing the Spider-Man in the corner that you just didn't look up.
Yeah, like, but yeah, and then like I found out years later, they're like, yo, you remember we used to scare the shit out of you? Like, yeah, there was like a trap door there the whole time. I was like, oh, you fucking assholes. Because it was like around the time when Candyman came out, so they'd like trick me and be like, oh, Candyman, then flip the lights and disappear, and I lose my shit. I was like 10.
You grab your sister by the face and go, do you know how much therapy I've been in?
Poor young innocent. It explains a lot though about Gittles now. It really does explain a lot about
Right?
2018 Gittles.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes,
when we
please.
come back, we've got some TV updates for you. Gittles saw a couple of movies and some other information that you might find useful.
Cool.
We'll
I
be
have
right
a question for Eric when we come back too.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
It's Erik Nagel. Eric, Matt, I think Gittles is in there too. Anyway, the show will be right back.
Attention. Shameless social media plug.
It's Erik Nagel is on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and reluctantly, Snapchat. So follow, like, and subscribe. Would you kindly? We're back with more It's Erik Nagel.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel. That is me. Over across from me is Matt OG. In the upside down is Gittles.
What up?
And what are we calling him? Oh, BBC Trevor. The Treverand.
That's the one yet.
Our buddy Trevor is here as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So, dear Twitter, please change my name.
You better grab it before somebody else grabs it and makes a fan account.
I think BBC stands for Big Beautiful Co-host. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, but
No,
no,
BBW, Trevor.
I
This
thought
is so
I thought we
why
agreed it was
this
Big
Matt-
Black Cock.
I'm trying to make him feel.
Well, stop doing
Big
that.
bad cows. I got nothing.
Big blue cows. What?
We gotta move on from that one.
But
I
anyway,
hate all of you, except for Trevor.
really? It's usually the opposite way.
I'm trying to make him feel better. He's had a shitty day.
I told you to stop doing that.
He's yelling at a wall and it's bouncing back and punching him in the face. He's having a bad day, E-Rock.
First of all, since I put myself on mute, I put 12 pieces of foam that I stole from Matt on this wall.
Let me come over there and carve it for you. I'll make something fancy.
The other box is coming from Walmart soon. Don't worry.
No, I canceled that order.
It should get there.
Looking at the box office from this weekend, debuting at number 1, The Nun, which, if you weren't aware, there's a cinematic universe for The Conjuring, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th installment because there's 2 Annabelles
I was gonna say Annabelle
and
is
2
in there,
Conjurings.
Is
So-
Ben Affleck in this one?
No, not at all. So that came in at number 1. Number 2, and holding strong. It's doing a lot better than I initially thought it would do. Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
Doing well. 3, Peppermint, which I still don't understand what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
I just
It's like it's basically Taken, but with like Jennifer Garner as the lead.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say as with delicious little candies, but okay.
No, it looks really bad.
the trailer.
Watch
If you can look up the
was
trailer,
horrible.
it's
Yeah,
horrible.
terrible.
You're just seeing some fight stuff going on, and nothing explained, no music. You're just hearing fighting, and then the graphic comes up, and the voiceover guy goes Peppermint, and that's it.
Well,
It's
they
like-
showed the trailer I saw.
It's like
before
Gabbo's
the
coming.
Meg. Well, the trailer I saw before the Meg basically gave away the entire movie. It's like her family is killed by Mexican cartel, and so she like testifies in court, and then they're like, "Well, we're gonna kill you," and then she disappears off the grid for 3 years, and somehow becomes the world's greatest killer, and then just starts killing all the cartel members. And they show in the trailer her killing and hanging all these cartel members.
Wait. So it's her
basically
fault?
like what?
It's her fault because she disappears?
Like, she kills everybody. No, like her family was killed, and she went to testify, and then the cartel put a hit on her, so she disappeared to go like Pai Mei style training, like Kill Bill, and then just like living in the shadows and just killing all these cartel members.
This sounds like a plot for a CW show.
Yeah, like,
Jesus.
but it's like I don't know. I heard it's not good. Like all the reviews are pretty bad.
Can't see it with movie
It's
pass.
the Riverdale spinoff, Riverdale Peppermint.
There you go.
Ugh.
Boo.
Number 3, that was Peppermint. Number 4, The Meg, the other awful movie that
Right.
Gittles have seen, and number 5, Searching.
I don't know what that
Was
is
that the
either.
Nazi movie?
No, Searching was the one with the dude from Harold and Kumar.
Oh,
John Cho?
Cal Penn,
Or Cal Penn?
who's been on the
No,
show.
not Cal Penn, the other dude.
John Cho?
John Cho?
Yeah.
Because doesn't Cal Penn have a movie out or coming out?
I don't know.
I
I
thought
remember
he
Cal
did.
Penn from House before he was.
Oh,
political.
right, John Chow?
Cho.
Cho.
Yeah.
John Cho was
Sulu.
Was yes, exactly. Sulu was looking for his daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it.
Probably the whole reveal at the end of the movie was that his daughter was sitting on a chair and this other girl pulled up a blanket.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And then at the end he realized that the girl wasn't invisible. the
Oh,
whole
I saw
time.
that movie. Yeah.
The whole
We
time?
spent a lot of money on police searches. For
She was sitting in the living room the whole time. The whole family's laughing. They're like, "Where did he run off to?"
Oh, you're such a card.
My roommate.
He
did see
killed
it and
8
said it was
guys.
pretty good.
Your roommate what?
He saw Searching and said it was pretty good. He said it's worth a watch. So I don't know.
I think I'll watch that when it comes on iTunes or on demand. I don't
I'll
think
watch
it's
it one
when I
day,
want to go
maybe,
there.
sorta.
Some other movie updates for you. The Academy Awards have dropped the popular category
Yes.
Oh, that was
due
quick.
to much outrage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why was there outrage? to begin
Because everybody thought, somebody here said it was because a movie like Black Panther would need to win that category because it wouldn't win the Best Picture
Right,
kind of
so
thing.
the problem is why can't
Yeah, I
Black
said
Panther
that.
win Best Picture?
It could, but the Academy didn't think it could, apparently.
No. That's what I mean.
Oh.
That's what I mean.
Little
So the
Iraq.
problem is the Academy doesn't want to acknowledge pictures.
Weird doing it to yourself.
The Academy doesn't want to acknowledge pictures in that genre, right?
Right.
That's why last year.
I told you that I thought there
That's
was a
why
problem
last
last year with the water sex movie.
But that won, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. So I mean, but that was
Guillermo
huge.
del Toro's
Yeah,
Secret of Water.
Yeah.
Right.
Water sex.
The Secret of Water? Is that what it was
it was
called?
not-
I
no,
thought
it
it was
was
called
called-
like The Fishman's Dream or something.
No.
Which
It
one are we
was
talking
the
about?
Secret
I
Life
have
of
no idea.
I don't
Black
know.
Panther's
The
not gonna
Fisher
win
King?
shit.
No, it was none of those things. It was Hellboy 3. Abe Sapien has sex with a woman. I don't know what it was called.
Oh yeah,
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. There, see, there you go. The
Shape of Water.
Something
It's
with
wet.
water and Abe Sapien, Guillermo del
Like
Toro.
The Shape.
Secret of Water was from the 80s called The Abyss.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Remember to drink your
Abysmal.
Ovaltine?
God damn it!
It's a goddamn advertisement. So the problem is that the Academy feels like it needs to create another category for these movies rather than acknowledge those movies in the categories they already have established.
Right.
I get that. I get why
Turn
that's a
that
problem.
mic a little bit more.
I get
There
why
you go.
that's a problem.
Doesn't sound
And
like he's on.
and here's the truth. The truth is the Academy just sucks and has for years.
It has, yes.
They're
but
terrible.
It the Academy only means something to the motion picture industry. It does not mean anything to the fans, people who have Oscar parties or worry about the fashion on the red carpet. It means something to the production companies, and that's it.
And it means something to the actors and actresses, not because I necessarily think they want the award, but because once they have the award, they command more money in their contract.
And they'll get better projects and things like that.
Right? So I mean, it's really some sort of weird, like incestuous, self-serving little dirty pool.
Same thing with the Emmys. And then the Golden Globes and the Screen Actors Guild.
It's the same thing with all award shows.
But I will bring up I'll make the transition to the Emmys. Rick and Morty won an Emmy.
Yeah, congratulations,
In
Rick
the creative
and Morty.
the Creative Arts Emmy, they won two. One was, damn it, I forgot the categories.
Oh, it was the category was we're going to give them an Emmy so that their fans don't burn us to the ground. That was the category.
That's a good category. It was the secret sauce category.
It was secret sauce. It was best pickle in an animated short.
So who actually won?
They won. Adult Swim won 2 Emmys. Rick and Morty won one of the Emmys. They won for best animated program. Robot Chicken won for best animated short.
Okay. So did the award go to the show, or did it go to like Justin and Dan?
Justin and Dan are the ones that
accepted it.
And the ones that were holding it in photos and everything together.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, which is great to see that a show like that would never be nominated in the past. Like if you liked weird offbeat animation, say like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, even like stuff like Archer, wouldn't be nominated for an Emmy. All that little off the beaten path style animation stuff never would get that kind of recognition.
Absolutely.
So now that
recognition,
nice.
That's cool. Like I feel like that's like something you get across the country. Some recognition.
Boo.
For your birthday, I've arranged for the people of Australia to spell out your name in candlelight. If you would just turn your head slightly, can't be bothered.
Gittles' birthday's
do you have something else to move on? Because if not, I'm waiting with bated breath for Trevor's question for you.
Okay. Well, let me finish up some of the TV stuff here. Some announcements of show returns. Doctor Who is returning on October 7th. Jesus
October
Christ!
7th,
Why can't
yes.
I talk? I need a beverage.
Doctor 7th.
I said October 7th.
Yes.
God, I'm joking.
Good. Please do. October
Damn
7th, Doctor Who returns with the new female Doctor as the 13th Doctor.
Big blue corpse, Trevor.
And I've been losing more and more faith in the direction of what they're doing.
Okay.
And it's not because she's a female. It's not at all. I've gotten past all of that. The more they reveal about the show and what they're doing is really starting to aggravate me.
Okay.
And here's why. So it's not going to be like they'll have separate adventure, like episodic adventures, but then usually there's some kind of arc for the season, right? Now there may be one, but they haven't really talked about it.
They never really do, though.
They said this season of Doctor Who, it's like rebooting the whole franchise,
right?
So it's going to be stories about not just the Doctor and the companions, but individual stories about all 4 of them. There's not going to be any history of Doctor Who included. No Daleks, no Cybermen, no Weeping Angels, no River Song, no anything that tied from the past.
Okay.
Because every season has to have a Dalek episode because they've been around for 50 years.
Yeah, I don't think they need one, but okay.
But they're removing all of that stuff. No Doctor history, no Doctor lore.
Okay.
And there's always been something, which is kind of cool in the Doctor Who series, where his past and the future it'll hit at some point. He'll land somewhere where it affects something. And they're saying it's not going to be all that. It's going to be all new adventures and has nothing to do with the past for this season.
I mean,
that kind of aggravates me.
So,
I look forward to a Weeping Angel episode. I look forward to a Dalek episode.
So here's my take on at least the villain, the Weeping Angel, Dalek, Cybermen.
Right. They did say it's going to be all new villains. Which is I'm all for that too, to see new characters and new creatures.
I like the new villains. I like the new characters. Remember, before Blink, we had no Weeping Angels.
No, I understand.
Right? So they were new.
Incorporating new stuff with some of the older stuff is what made Doctor Who really fun.
But here's the thing. I actually normally hate the Dalek episode every year.
Do you?
And the Cybermen. Yeah, because it feels like
a requirement.
It feels like, all right, so we have to figure out how to make a Dalek episode this season. How is he gonna befriend the Dalek, work with the Dalek, defeat who's the Dalek? And the same thing with the Cybermen. And honestly, the Weeping Angels, as great of a bad guy as they were great in Blink. They were not great ever again. The whole Statue of Liberty thing with Amy Pond was horseshit.
Oh,
That was fucking garbage. And they appeared one other time. There was another episode that they were in that I was like,
where they were in that weird forest, remember? Yeah. And it was coming through the screen. It
was fucking garbage. Blink was the
Wow.
only episode where I really legitimately were frightened and scared of the Weeping Angels. I'm not saying you can't use them again. I don't think they've revisited them. Some of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who are standalone, unique villains. Are You My Mummy?
Oh, that one's
is a
pretty
great,
creepy,
terrifying episode, and the Adipose episode is a great, funny, silly episode.
Is that the little
fat
little
guys?
marshmallow things? Okay, yeah.
Right. So, like, I don't necessarily feel like I need like a specific whatever episode, and I will reserve judgment on the other things until I see how they play out.
Okay.
But just commenting on the villain part alone, I'm totally fine. I don't need an overreaching story. I'm okay with Monster of the Week because, like Gittles said before, if I miss an episode and it really is Monster of the Week, then all right, I'm just gonna watch this episode and I'll go back and catch the other episode later.
Yeah.
You don't think in eliminating
some of my favorite,
the Doctor's history for the whole season?
See, here's my problem. I think that's what they're saying. But I find it really hard to believe that that's what's actually going to happen.
They flat out said that none of that stuff is going to be in this season.
I know, but
I think they're lying.
I think by the last episode of the season, there's going to be some tie into somewhere.
The last episode, they open up a door and all the villains show up. Yeah. It's all done in one shot in 5 minutes.
Or something. I mean, there's got to be.
We get lost in the other time machine.
Considering the first promotional images and the first video we saw of the Doctor, she's wearing various parts of other Doctors' costumes. How do they not? She's wearing.
Is that what that?
Yeah, she's wearing the Fourth Doctor's scarf. She's got David Tennant's trench coat.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, the very first one from like a year ago or whatever.
I saw the one where they revealed, like, when they revealed her, she was wearing a hoodie in the forest, and then they showed.
But there was that one. There's one
where she's standing like on a countryside, like she's in a Proclaimers video.
Yeah,
and she's got the gray like water pants and the rainbow suspenders. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's more like Mork from Ork.
To me, it felt like very reminiscent of other Doctors sort of amalgamating into her, which is what Doctor Who is about anyway. So anyway, that's Doctor Who.
You know,
I'll wait and see.
I'll leave it to Matt there to bring me back from my frustration. I'm like, I'm not going to like this, to bring it back to giving it a chance again.
I mean, look, and I don't want to give it a chance because I hate Jodie Whittaker, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try real fucking hard.
We might be talking to them.
I don't care if we're talking to her. I hated her on Broadchurch, and I'm trying to not let that bias me on this, except that when I saw the first trailer for her, I'm calling her Dr. Cardboard until she convinces me otherwise. So there it is.
I'll tell you
much passion.
I'll tell you what annoyed me in that teaser thing, where it was the light was shooting through the diner and through that kitchen. Where, if I promise, something's like, if I ask very nicely, will you be my very, very best friends? And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, they're turning it into a cutesy poo.
Except that when you think about that, right? How is a half naked Doctor eating fish sticks and custard any worse or better?
I'll tell you how it's better.
It's not. Yeah, well. Eric. I mean, that his introduction was just as dumb.
Yeah, well,
his introduction was
custard.
horseshit. That whole first episode with young Amelia Pond and the fish sticks and custard was garbage horseshit.
Where were you when every time we've talked about Doctor Who? I didn't know you had this much hatred for the story writing of it.
There are individual episodes that I absolutely hate of that show, but
I had no idea.
But like the Van Gogh episode, because some people think I just don't like Matt Smith. I like Matt Smith.
Van Gogh was great.
I hated Amelia Pond. But like the Van Gogh episode, which is a Matt Smith episode, that episode makes me cry every single time I watch it. Like I don't think there's any way around it. So anyway,
what do I look up, by the way, to see that thing in her different outfits?
I I could be mistaken, but I remember there was an image of her that was very reminiscent of her wearing a bunch of stuff from a bunch of other doctors. But I think we should move on because it's getting late.
All right,
and long.
send me if you find it, or if anybody's listening to the show and you see it somewhere on social media, send it to iHeartRadio on Twitter. I would love to definitely take a look at that because I that seems to have gotten past me. But also, I wanted to point out Doctor Who's going to be on Sunday nights now.
Yeah.
So they're having a global event, which means the first episode's going to air on British time. So that means it's going to be like 1:32 in the afternoon here on the East Coast. Remember when they did Day of the Doctor? They did the global event, and I had to watch it in the middle of a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So this will be whatever on British time, whatever they deem necessary to do so. So it'll be Sunday afternoon on the East Coast of the United States.
Which I'm really shocked that they picked that day for the East Coast.
For Sunday?
Yeah, no, that Sunday, because that is the last Sunday
of Comic-Con.
of New York Comic-Con. So half of their audience is going to be in Manhattan.
Oh,
half their East Coast audience.
Well, they're
going to
be at
in
Comic-Con
Manhattan
as well. So
I know.
maybe that's why they did it one last hurrah.
That's what I was saying. Like maybe it'll be a big reveal. Maybe there's gonna be something crazy.
No, I think they're showing the first episode at Comic-Con, but I would think that they would want to debut it Sunday night when most people are back home on the couch.
Right. Well, to be honest, as big a draw that New York Comic-Con gets, that's a small percentage of the entire world of Doctor Who's fans.
Yeah, but it's not a small percentage of one of the major TV markets in the world, New York.
Fair enough.
New York is probably one
All
of
the
the
New York,
biggest
yeah,
TV
all the Doctor
markets
Who
in the
fans
world.
will be there. So you're all right.
Yeah.
Good point. Well, here's something else that is weird too. That same night is the return of The Walking Dead, and they're labeling it Rick's final episodes.
Yeah, good. I hope the whole episode becomes Walking Dead. The whole show.
It's like 7 new episodes. Rick dies in the first 5 minutes, and they just sit around like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right, bye, everybody.
Anyway.
Well, and they're all sitting there like, well, I guess it's bound to happen.
We've talked mentioned the new Voltron Season 7 is very good. You should check that out. Also, Ozark Season 2, finished that. Ozarks is amazing. You would like that, Matt, if you had time to watch television.
If I find time to watch TV again?
Yes.
If I make up with TV?
Yes.
Just do what I do. Watch terrible movies.
There you go.
Trevor, what was your question before we get into Gittles seeing the nun?
Real quick, and I refused to read the full article because I thought I already knew the answer. This is all it said was grocery, and we've talked about this before, how you used to work in a grocery store, Eric? Used to sleep in the freezer?
I unloaded trucks at a Walmart and a Target.
Yeah. So all I saw was employee accused of eating $9,000 worth of deli meat.
Oh.
And
I saw that article too, and I was like, is she binging like prosciutto, like the expensive shit?
Well,
it was over the course.
Like, I'm a fat man, and I'm a man of the flab, and I'm not making fun of
Yeah.
Eric, but like I didn't do the grocery store thing for as long as he did, so I thought maybe like because it said it was over years.
Big beautiful cold cuts, Trevor. I feel you.
God damn it,
Matt, high five. High five to Matt.
You know what?
Big, beautiful cold cuts, Trevor.
Someone ate $9,000 worth of deli meat, and for a hot second, I thought it was you.
Wait, so now we see BCC Trevor for beautiful cold cuts, Trevor?
Big, beautiful cold cuts, Trevor.
Big, beautiful cold
cuts.
yeah.
I thought you said beautiful cold cuts, Trevor.
I am amazing looking out of all this.
So I read that article too, and it was over the course of like 9 years of employment or something like that.
Trevor is shaped like a prosciutto uncut.
and it was like
It
was like 5 slices. It was like
That's funny.
The article said she ate a couple of slices of ham and a couple of slices of salami every day over the course of like 9 years, and it was equated to like. And I was like, who doesn't?
That's
who doesn't
bullshit.
do that?
Because I've gone to the deli many times. Shocker.
Yeah.
But when you go and order your stuff, sometimes they cut off the first few slices
And they
because
give you a slice.
sometimes it hardened a little bit,
Yeah.
right? So they cut it off of there, and then they cut off a slice. Is this thin enough for you, or is it you wanted that thick? You want the slice? Yes, I'll take that. Or no, I don't want that. I'm sure at some points when like they cleared out the crowd that they had for a while, and they're going to go repackage the cold cuts, they slice off a piece and just eat it.
I worked at Starbucks.
Who cares if
I
they
stole
do?
a piece of cake now and then.
Who cares if they? And how do you know it equaled $9,000?
That whole article just made me mad because like who ratted her out? You know what I mean? Like it was some little deli manager.
And how do you prove
who got a little bit of power and got?
How do you prove 9 years of this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's because she admitted to eating 4 to 5 pieces a day. She's like, yeah, I used to do that like 4 to 5 pieces a day. He's like, You worked here for 9 years.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
But when
anybody
you
who
think
works in a
about
food place nibbles on something once in a while.
I eat ice cream
Four
all
pieces
fucking
of ham a day is not a lot of
course you
ham.
do, Gittles.
That's
As you
barely
should.
it's not even a sandwich worth of ham. 4 pieces of ham.
I worked at a Pathmark. They had a snowstorm and we got snowed in. My manager legit walked to the DiGiorno aisle and just threw a bunch of shit in the bakery.
Yeah, there you go.
They had 15 employees snowed in. By morning, there were 7.
That's it. Bum,
Alive.
bum.
Gittles went to see the movies, The Nun, and what was the other
See
movie?
the movies. Well, the other one's on Netflix. It's called Corbin Nash, and it's crazy. I'll get to that in a minute. But I saw The Nun.
All right, give us a quick rundown of The Nun because I want to hear Corbin Nash.
Quick nun down, if you will. Ugh. So last week my movie pass was working, and so I had to hop on it because
For now.
if it's working, you just got to do it. I was like, well, what can I see today? And I woke up in the morning and it said 8th grade. I was like, you know what? That's a good movie. I heard it's a good movie. I want to go check it out.
I've read a lot of good things about that
By
movie.
8:30, I think they realized their mistake, and it was taken down and The Nun was put up. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go see The Nun today because it's playing every half hour at this movie theater near my house. So I went, and I went on Tuesday, and it was actually like a pretty packed theater for early afternoon. There was like some families there with some little kids. I didn't realize this was like a PG-13 movie. It's not scary. I will just say that right off the bat. This is not a scary movie.
No jump scares, no.
Dude, it is how do you have a movie where you can't even get one jump scare right? Like, you see the jump scares coming. You're like, oh yeah, there's a guy. Like, I could see his shadow behind that tree.
Even in the trailer, there's a scene where she's walking down like a corridor underground, right? And you see the nun come off from like if you're looking at the screen, so coming from her right, stage left. Comes out there. It looks like an animatronic in a House of Horrors, where you're like that. You see the thing moving. It's exactly what Gittles said. There's none scary in there.
Zero
there's
scary.
nothing
Real
is
actual
scary.
nuns are scary.
That movie should be spelt None.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, where was the plot? There was none.
Yes.
Like, and I think that's literally like how they wrote it. They're like, yeah, that's it. There's a nun. Like, do it. Make this movie. There's really no plot line. Like, they show up, the movie opens with like a cold open, and like a nun hangs herself, and another nun gives her this like weird key, and then this guy finds the nun, and they tell the Vatican, and the Vatican's like, well, we got to send some people out there to go check it out. So they send a priest and this young girl who's not quite a nun yet, but she's had these visions.
I'm not a girl, not yet a nun. Britney Spears.
So
somebody
it was
gets
the girl from American Horror Story, Thaisa Familia. I don't know how to pronounce her name because it's got too many vowels. And she plays like the younger nun, but it's just not good. Like things just start happening. There's no explanation for, quite honestly, anything in the movie other than what they wanted to explain to you. Like, there's a scene where they're in a cemetery, and it's an old cemetery, and there's little bells on the gravestones that are tied to ropes because people accidentally got buried alive. But they make sure to tell you that story, so 5 minutes later it's gonna come in handy when one of those bells starts ringing. Or there's a scene where a guy has a shotgun. It's like, why didn't you use that shotgun? It's like, I'm waiting for an emergency. And then guess what? He uses it, and what's the line? I guess it was an emergency. Like, it's that kind of movie.
Well, at least it wasn't like, emergency, I broke the glass.
Ugh, no, that would have made maybe sense. I have no idea. But like, as you were saying, like the animatronic stuff, there's a scene where like the nun, like the younger nun, I can't even remember her name, Sister Grace or something like that. She's in the room, and like it's starting to get spooky, and you see the cross on the wall spinning upside down, so it becomes like an evil cross. But the lighting and everything in the room is so bad that it feels like you're on a Disneyland ride. It's like, uh-oh, the cross is spinning. Ooh, what's going on?
You're on the Haunted Mansion ride. Look, the dancing candelabras.
Yeah, that's no joke what it was like. And I swear, I heard the little 10-year-old kid when he was leaving say, Dad, I thought you said this was going to be scary. And he was like, I don't know, kid.
I've heard a lot of
What's that in the corner? It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah, it was just so bad. Like,
we just watched the movie to get in the air conditioning, son. It's killer out.
I never saw any of the Conjuring movies, and I understand that this is in the Conjuring universe because it opens up with like
Conjuring
a flashback
is
scene
pretty scary.
So yeah, so like they open up with like a flashback scene to the original, and then it just starts. And so like they're introducing and for a person who's never seen The Conjuring, I was like, okay, obviously there's going to be somebody in this cast member who is going to have to like, who's going to be a big like reveal later. Like, I don't know if you saw Final Destination 5, but they don't reveal that it's a prequel until the very end of the movie, when a girl is freaking out. Like, a girl is on the plane and she sees the dude freaking out about the plane crash, and then it starts off that whole movie. So like, there's a character and you're like, I bet this guy means something, and it turns out that he ends up being the first guy exorcisted in the Conjuring video, this Maurice guy, who you see him like screaming and like a snake comes out of his mouth, and it's like a home video. And so like the whole movie, you're like, I know that like this guy is gonna end up turning into somebody at some point. And then it happens, and you're like, all right, well, that was fucking stupid.
He turns into Billy Conjuring.
Yeah, and like none of the stuff that they explain in the movie like even makes sense, because like they're at this church where they trapped this demon that they're trying to contain.
Right.
So there's like these Knights of the Round who've been there since, it's like the King Arthur days, who they literally have a vial of Jesus's blood.
Oh, it's like the
that
Knights
they
Templar.
use.
But it's a relic, right?
Yeah, it's like a relic, and they use it to keep this demon in the hole. And these nuns have to stay and keep praying the entire time. If they stop praying, the demon will get out. So, like, they literally kill the demon, like, the same way they put it in the hole. And they're like, all right, demon's done. Let's just walk away. They just leave. Like, they didn't follow any of the rules of, like, yeah, someone has to sit there and keep praying over this.
Do you think that's their way of setting up the Nun 2?
Well, no, because the Nun 2 is the Conjuring. Because this is a prequel.
What was this? What was the slogan for Sister Act 2?
Oh, I don't remember.
Back in the saddle again or something.
Oh, back in the habit. Yeah.
The Nun 2.
Which
back in the habit.
I'm very glad. I was with a friend and she told me that the habit was the name of the hat, and I would have had no idea because they kept saying habit, and I was like, well, no one has any habits in this movie, and I didn't know that was the name of the hat. But also, like, I as a person who was raised Jewish, I don't think these movies have any effect on me, because like I don't care about these demons. Like, that's not my religion.
Right.
So I go into watching this stuff, it's like, oh no, the devil's coming and we're Jewish, so we're like, yeah, there's no devil, so there's nothing to worry about, So like none of it had any effect on me. Like, it was really bad. Like, there was no good deaths. Like, things just happened for no reason. It's not explained, and it was just really weak. I don't know. Like, there was barely a plot. Like, I would much rather go see Gotti again, because it was at least hilariously bad.
That's saying something.
So this wasn't even bad for an enjoyment's sake. This was just...
No, and I wanted it to be that. Which is why we come to the second movie I saw this week.
Well, that's where we're going to have to put a pin in it, because we're going to have to save that for next week.
I want to try to watch Corbin Nash. I want to try to watch it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to make a commitment to watch it.
I will watch it too, and then we will revisit Corbin Nash for next week's show.
All right.
Yes.
I promise nothing.
Quick rundown for anyone who's listening who doesn't know who Corbin Nash is. Corbin Nash is a vampire movie that's on Netflix that is stars Corey Feldman as a tranny vampire.
Oh, so it's a biopic.
Oh yeah, dude. And he's like just wearing makeup. Like, he's got prosthetic eyebrows. And the whole time you're like, man, he's got prosthetic eyebrows. He's got a prosthetic tattoo. Like, it's so fucking terrible.
Oh my God.
But
Does he partner up with Cheech Marin?
No, Rutger Hauer's in it, and everyone talks.
Oh,
in
that's
Batman
Nash
voice.
Bridges. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone talks in Batman voice, like, where do you think the vampires are? I think they're over there. Oh my God, where the like, they all talk like that.
Oh.
The lead character, Corbin Nash, is the voice of the villain. Like, he is. So you hear his voice talking, and then you hear the villain, and it's just slightly deeper, but it's the same voice.
Well, if Ryan Reynolds can be the Juggernaut, I can be this villain.
Yeah.
It's like a parent telling a story to a kid, and there's two similar characters, but like, they're also like both goblins. You got to like differentiate. Like, oh, well, I'm now this goblin, and I'm this goblin.
That's exactly.
It was like that.
You're reading a story to your kid to go to bed, and no, Daddy, do the voices,
Yeah, do the
and it's
voices.
all the same voice.
Yeah, but highly recommend for how bad this movie is. It's on Netflix. It's free. The opening scene is Corey Feldman just banging a prostitute while yelling, "I am beautiful" at the top of his lungs, while he has face makeup on.
Oh, you stole my moves.
Oh, dude, it's bad. Like,
All
there
right.
is dialogue in there where the guy's like, "That's not blood leaking from your ear," or "That's not blood dripping out of your ear. That's your brain leaking fluid." And I was like, sold.
All right. So that is your homework assignment for everybody.
right.
Next week,
Corbin
we're going to
Nash.
be back, and we'll discuss Corbin Nash, which
There
is
you go.
available on Netflix.
There you go. Huzzah.
And there's gonna be more of them because they set it up.
Yeah. All right.
And with that music, that means wrong music, Trevor. The music that's playing now means it's plug time. Let's go around the room. Matt OG, what do you have?
You can find me on social media.
Is that what we're listening to?
No.
If I actually happen to post on social media, you can find me at Geek Stuff OG. New episodes of Geek Stuff go online every Thursday at bkgeekstuff.com.
Are you even playing video games or no?
I'm going to play Spider-Man as soon as I get my credit card back or my debit card back.
Very nice.
Don't worry, I ordered it for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Gittles, what do you have?
Not much. Just Gittles, Gittlebase on the Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, the phone. Just text Gittles on the phone. You might get me. I don't know idea. I got nothing else going on, but I'll probably see more bad movies this week.
And if you want to send Gittles flavor ice, just hit us up and we'll give you the
I
PO
want
box.
everybody to send Gittles pictures of themselves eating flavor ice.
That's please. It's great.
Big black flavor ice.
Oh, that doesn't work as well.
Trevor, what do you got?
Okay, so I know I've been
You're
teasing
yelling.
for a while, and real quick, I know on Monday I am doing a different podcast with my buddy Chris, who's been begging me to do one. It's going to be on Twitch. We're going to be live, twitch.tv/podcast dummies. That's what we're calling the show, Podcast Dummies. So like I said, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just follow us on all the social media at Podcast Dummies. You can follow me on Twitter at BTGTrevor, at BTGRocks on the Xbox, because it's the last week of Fortnite. Me and Gittles are pushing for everything we could possibly get on the last night. Eric still doesn't know how to play.
That's not true. I know how to play. I got a couple of llamas.
Matt, we've missed you so much. Welcome back, the four of us. I'm very excited.
Huzzah.
For me, it's eRock across the board on social media, but more importantly for the show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on social media. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and you obviously subscribe to the podcast, so tell two friends so they can tell two friends, etc., etc. Give us a call also, 651-SMITHERS, that's 651-764-8437. Leave us a message and we'll use it on a future show. And like Matt said, in the next week or two, we'll have the booth number so you can come by and say hi to everybody at New York Comic Con if you are attending.
Yes.
I think that's everything, right?
Yes.
Right. Until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
And have a wonderful time.
No, not when he's here.
Oh, God damn it.
It's Erik Nagel. And that's all the time we have. Follow the show at It's Erik Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Unless we do something stupid or something better comes along. We'll be back next time.